boy, I'm nervous. So I've been making a ton of art videos lately, but today I need to take a brief break from that so I can share something really special with you, because for the past 8 months, I have been working on the biggest project of my entire career. It's a huge reason why I haven't been as active on YouTube this year as I would have liked to be, but I think it's been worth every minute because, guys, I wrote a book. I wrote a 200-page long, comprehensive educational resource covering everything that I think that you would need to know if you wanted to start a creative business. It has 91 pages of worksheets and exercises. I am just so excited to share it with you today, so I hope that you'll indulge me in this video. And I do want to give a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and this channel this year, and their support is really what made this entire project possible. The origin of this project starts all the way back in 2018, my very first attempt at starting an art business. I was showing abstract acrylics in galleries and cafes. I was just beginning to learn oils, and I was trying everything that I could think of to promote my work, from college art markets to Facebook ads to Instagram. I was basically just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what would stick. There was virtually no strategy whatsoever. And I was spending hours researching business and marketing, trying to learn everything that I could to figure out how to make this work for me, and I was getting really frustrated throughout this entire experience. All of the advice that I was finding online was either completely outdated for the age of social media that we find ourselves in, or it was completely irrelevant to my situation. Most of the advice assumed that I had endless time and money and resources and effort that I could spend on this business, which, as a broke and overwhelmed college student, I definitely didn't have. But then 2020 rolled around, and while I didn't have endless time, I had about as close as I could possibly probably ever experience. So I decided to put that time to use, and instead of following all of the generic business advice that I had learned thus far, I tried a different approach. I started this channel, this thing that I am so grateful to have be full-time for me now. I started almost 5 years ago. Instead of following all of the generic business and marketing advice that I was learning online, I tried a different approach. I started with studying the creators that I admired the most. People like Lee Ellickson and Catherine Manning and Ali Abdaal, people that I like and admire. I analyzed what made their content so engaging, what kept me coming back to their channels, and how they build genuine connections with their audience. Gradually, over the course of years, I began implementing all of these lessons that I was learning, and just gradually improving my production quality and my content, becoming a better artist, a better writer for these scripts, a better performer for the camera, a better video editor. I edit all of my own videos. And in 2021, things started to really take off. My channel got monetized. Suddenly I was getting tons of questions into how I made this channel happen, like what my advice would be. And so I took a weekend to create my very first ever educational digital product, a 60-page workbook called the Art YouTuber's Workbook. And over the course of years, it became my most popular digital product ever. Not that I've actually made that many, but it did help a ton of people. And notably, people like Sketches of Shay, who told me firsthand that part of the reason that she was able to go full-time was because of the advice that I gave her in that workbook. So earlier this year, I sat down to give this workbook an update, and something interesting happened. As I started revising, I began completely redesigning the entire product. I realized I had so much that I wanted to share, not just about YouTube, but about creative entrepreneurship in general, how to build a business that's both profitable and creatively fulfilling. And so the project kept growing. At first, I told myself it would be 100 pages, and then it became 120, and then 150, and now it is 200 pages long, and I still have a to-do list of things that I want to add to this. It could end up being like 400 pages long at the end of next year, for all I know. I truly have no idea. But the beautiful thing about self-publishing this as a digital product is that I can keep expanding it. Everyone that purchases gets lifetime access to all future updates. So as this resource grows from 200 to maybe 300 or 400 pages long, you'll get all of that content totally for free. So let's talk about what's actually in this thing. Because, like I said, it's 200 pages long. It has 91 pages of worksheets and exercises, and there's a lot that it covers. I have broken all of this down into 7 chapters that walk you through basically everything that you need to know about building a creative business. From figuring out what you actually want to build, all the way to launching products and growing sustainably. The first chapter starts with getting clarity on your goals. Because here's the thing, right? There's no one-size-fits-all approach to building a creative business. Some of you want to teach and create educational content. Others want to just sell your art. Both approaches are totally fine and valid. There's room for both. There's room for all of the gray area in between, too. And chapter 2 dives into the actual building blocks of business. The different income streams and pricing strategies and all the fun stuff that probably nobody taught you in art school if you happened to go. From there, we explore how to put those building blocks into practice, what's actually possible when it comes to building an art business, looking at real case studies from actual artists that I got quotes from for this book. But the heart of this workbook is really all about how to market and promote your work in a way that feels authentic to you, that's not gross and pushy. The middle chapters walk you through finding your ideal audience, developing your unique voice, and creating content that actually serves both you and your audience. This isn't just a static PDF that you'll buy once, read once, and never use again. I designed this to be a living resource that you return to time and time again to reflect and adjust based on how things are going. And when you purchase the workbook, you'll also get access to a walkthrough mini course that I'm launching in January, where I'll guide you through the core exercises and frameworks in this huge resource. And if you're someone that really struggles with implementation, if you buy a course and then often don't get the full value out of it because you don't put the things that you learn to practice, I'll also be teaching a live 5-week workshop based on this workbook, focusing really hard on implementation. But whether you choose the self-study route or you join the workshop, I want to make something super clear. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be making free content about art and business here on YouTube. This workbook is just a more comprehensive, structured way to learn if that's a thing that you're interested in. And if you have any doubts about my intentions or the quality of this product, sign up for that preview. Get those 12 pages. Read the testimonials on my website. Email me with any questions that you might have. I will answer you. And I'll admit to having a lot of imposter syndrome personally, but I have poured enough blood and sweat and tears into this product to know deep in my bones that it has value. I just can't wait for you guys to put all of this advice into practice, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. But before I wrap up, I do want to talk about one of the most important tools that you will need to build a business, and that is a professional website. Squarespace has truly been an amazing partner in making this workbook possible, and I've been using them to run my own website for years now, and I am so happy to say that they are sponsoring this video. So here's the deal. Squarespace can be your online store, your portfolio website, and your email marketing, course hosting, membership scheduling, and invoicing platform. It can do all of that, and it can do it really well. Imagine a world where you're not paying $1 million a month for a ton of subscriptions, but just one price for all of those features, and it was hosted on your own website, branded exactly how you wanted it to be, and was perfect for you. Squarespace's Fluid Engine system makes designing a perfect website tailored to your brand extremely easy. So not only is your website the hub for everything you're doing online, but it's perfectly aligned with your aesthetic as a creative. It hosts your work, it has your email on it, it's incredible. I have been using Squarespace for years. It makes me tens of thousands of dollars a year on my online store. It is so easy to use. I love the flexibility of their drag and drop editor and the ability to further customize your site with code if you need to. And they're adding new features all the time. If you want to give Squarespace a try, you can support the channel by going to squarespace.com/Kelsey Rodriguez and using my code Kelsey Rodriguez for 10% off your first order of a website or domain.